what's wrong with my child, right? We ask ourselves that, what is wrong with this kid? They're driving me crazy, right? When our kids are young, the years when we have little young kids, they can really put us under an immense kind of stress and strain, right? Kids' behavior can be annoying, messy, and infuriating, right? And we ask ourselves, what is wrong with this kid? Why won't they listen? Why won't they listen to me? And the behavior is can be kind of crazy. And sometimes we got to understand like what's driving my kid, right? What's is there something wrong with my child? But a lot of times we have to actually ask ourselves, instead of what's wrong with my child, why am I so triggered by this behavior and by this situation? And so when my daughter was little, she had these behaviors that made me she didn't listen, and for me it really brought up unresolved issues about being seen and heard. But I had no idea that that was going on for me at the time. It took some excavating and some understanding. And I felt this feeling of not being seen and heard when she wouldn't listen to me. And I felt like I hadn't felt like since I was basically a child, right? And before I did that excavation work, I blamed my daughter. What was wrong with her? Why isn't she listening to me? It was clearly all her problem, right? But the truth is, if you spend any time with small kids under the age of 3, like, or 4, they're gonna like show you, here's your issue, mom or dad, here's your issue, and here's your issue. And I kind of say, like little spiritual masters, kids have an uncanny ability to kind of bring forth all your unresolved issues and baggage. And we think that if we just say the perfect words, we'll be the perfect parent. If we can just say, if we can just respond in the right way, we're going to be the perfect parent. But unfortunately, it doesn't work this way. And one of the reasons why it doesn't work this way is because of these unresolved issues. So, in Raising Good Humans, I quote from Dan Siegel and Mary Hartzell from Parenting and the Inside Out, and they say, from 2004, and they say, the intrusion of unresolved issues can directly influence how we know ourselves and interact with our children. When unresolved issues are writing our life story, we are no longer making thoughtful choices about how we want to parent our children, but rather we are reacting on the basis from the past. We often try to control our children's feelings and behavior when it is actually our own internal experience that is triggering upset feelings about their behavior. So this leads to that saying, what you don't transform, you transmit. And the research has shown that without doing the work to take care of and understand and excavate these unconscious triggers, parents do tend to transmit them to the next generation. So it's not about just saying the perfect thing. It's not about just responding the perfect way. There's inside out work that we have to do as parents in order to show up fully, really, more mindfully, more consciously, more awarely, and stop like passing this baggage down. Because that whole feeling, the baggage I had, I could see how it was passed down to my father, etc. Right? These are generational patterns, and to be able to stop those, we have to do the work to uncover and resolve those things. So that's why in mindful parenting we start with that, right? We start with mindfulness, which helps us build our awareness and lower our stress response, build like steady the heart, the mind, and the nervous system. And then the next module in step 2, we're working on uncovering and taking care of these unresolved issues and triggers. So what to do? You should, and I encourage you to practice tools that steady the heart, the mind, and the nervous system. I encourage you to also uncover and start to heal those triggers, make them conscious, and then model healthy emotional regulation for your children. Because if your kids are freaking out, if you got a 2-year-old running around hitting a sibling, and we freak out at that child, we're modeling, yes, you should freak out, and then the strongest one wins, right? So I hope this has been helpful. I think it's really important to understand about triggers, understand about our own internal experience, because really, if unless you're working on that inside out experience, it's incomplete, right? The work is incomplete. We have to do the work to work on that inside out experience. And that's why in mindful parenting, we bring together that inside work and skillful communication, right? It's like the inner and the outer together. So, thank you so much for being here. I hope this has been helpful, whether you're watching the recording or you're live. Hi. And if it has been helpful, let me know in the comments below. And I do have some free resources, and I'll link them up below. Okay? Thank you so much. Namaste.